Приветствую, путник! Добро пожаловать на канал Гильдия. С вами я, Гильмастинон, и мы с вами продолжаем проходить Genshin Impact. В прошлой серии мы с вами стали командиром одного из отряда повстанцев. И, к сожалению, и Фатуи решили опять нам ставить палки в колеса. А именно, раздали нашим, так сказать, отрядом там ихние глазы порчи. И один из наших друзей, Тепей, который на протяжении второй главы помогал, просто-навсего состарился после использования этого глаза. Скорее всего, он уже умрет, пока мы тут будем разбираться. Ну а вы, надеюсь, что поддержите нас лайками и подписками. Ну а мы, как говорится, продолжаем. Итак, наша задача найти, так сказать, завод по производству глазов порчи. Мне, если честно, самому интересно, что такое они используют. То, что человек, получается, за считанные дни стареет на глазах просто. Так что надо понять, что они такое используют, и обезвредить это все к черту. А тут, оказывается, база у этих. О, с водоворотами. Надо потом зачистить как-нибудь. Так. По наводке нашей Кокоми с горой, они примерно определили то, что должен быть на этом острове. Сейчас узнаем, где примерно. Так. Где же А вот и вход. Нашел. Да. Фабрика глаза порчи. Ну чё, как говорится, погнали. Так, ну чё. Гадов атуйские. Чё вы используете? Да. Сразу трое. Двумя стихиями тебе. Минус. Отлично. Так. Опять. Это деталь. Но она отсюда. Да. Так. Где? Вот она. Просто, блин. Восстановил. Ах ты ж. Да. Надо с тобой сначала разобраться. Минус. Твой револьвер не, блин. Да лампочки. Опа. Объявление. Ого. Вот это вот не ожидал. Так. Ну что, нам сюда. Так, аккуратнее, конечно же, это не наши. А, фу. Электрические эти просто увидел. Так. А куда дальше? А, походу понял. Он увидел. Надо тут залезть. Ага. Блин. Почти правильно. О, все. Головоломка с этими. Вроде бы все три собрали. Так. Быстрый отхил. И погнали. И чё? Ах ты ж! Засада!
Come a little closer. Time to act. Ray outlines your fate.
Так, один холодом. Надо... Минус один. А, нет. Минус. С электрическим разрядшим голова скипела.
You're in for a little shock. Motion to compel.
Now this idiot must have a death wish.
Опа, электрика.
Don't be intimidated. Lord Harbinger will be here soon. Let's move.
Out of my sight.
Так, ты... Увеличим. Иди сюда, я сказал. Я уже с вами встречался.
You're in for a little shock.
Все.
You actually managed to find this place. Congratulations.
Сказатель. Кто ты, блин?
So, you're another Fatui Harbinger? Like Senora and Child?
Senora and Child. I didn't know you and my two
Ах
most
ты ж,
reliable colleagues were
Скарамуча.
appointed. I'm the Balladeer. Number 6 of the Fatui Harbingers. Delighted to meet you, oh mighty traveler. So many visitors today. To what do I owe the honor?
Вы изготовили.
Oh, so that's what this is about. I think you've got the wrong idea. I know how this looks, but I'm just here to follow orders. I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be pretty tough? What are you waiting for? Go get them. You're getting all worked up over nothing. Didn't have you down as being so weak.
How can you say this is nothing?
How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. Human life is worthless. We're always going to die, with or without a delusion. At least having one gives them a chance to fulfill their ambitions. Do you have any idea how useful the Vision Hunt decree is to us? It took a lot of work to make it happen. Obviously, it was in our best interests.
Ах ты ж
Good
гадина.
news is, our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. Now we just let the promise of power draw in the weak. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world. Trading their life for supreme power. Pretty good deal, don't you think?
So, the Fatui started the Vision Hunt decree? You've been behind it all along?
Ах ты.
From the outside, Inazuma looks pretty impenetrable. But on the inside, it's a land of opportunity. With a little effort, we were able to break them down from within. Eternity stretches things out over a long time, but each moment within it becomes all the more fragile. Take your friend in the Resistance, for example. There's nothing you can do now. He's a lost cause. Just like a bubble on the water. Beautiful for a moment, then total destruction. The more it takes from them, the more tightly they hold on to it. And the more incompetent they are, the more determined they are to fight it. It's such a farce. You have to see the funny side.
М.
Hey, calm down!
Дайте мне.
No!
Чё за...
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills his factory, and it feeds on your anger.
Опа-на. А она что тут делала?
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Oh, you recognize me right away. Your brain seems relatively unscathed. This is good news. It's just as well, really, with the amount of effort it took me to get you back here. Honestly, it was like you were glued to the ground back there.
Nico? Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something. How come you're acting so differently from when we first met you?
Am I? Maybe Maybe it's because I had the other shrine maidens leave. Anyway, I've always been like this. People show you whatever side of themselves they want you to see.
Ли Сяо показал свою ее истинную
Every side
натуру.
of me is the real me. People just like to define things in all sorts of arbitrary ways. This is a human society. At the moment, anyway. And I'm just doing as I please.
Paimon didn't quite follow.
Она лиса.
Study humans a while longer, my little friend. You'll see what I mean.
Меня
Right. Paimon was so focused on the traveler that Paimon didn't notice what you did to get Scaramouche off our backs.
What if I told you it was a secret art from the Grand Narukami Shrine, and that I had the balladeer down on his knees, begging for mercy in an instant?
Конечно, не
Would you
поверю.
believe me? Well, maybe you should be worrying less about that, and more about how exactly you're going to thank me, no? Maybe some of your neural circuitry is less intact than I thought.
Ну да, поблагодарим.
I didn't mean you had to be so formal about it. I need your actions, not your words. The delusions. They're still on your mind, aren't they?
Что произошло?
You needn't worry. The leader of Watatsumi Island took some troops to clear the place out. She's also issued a strict ban on the use of delusions across the whole army. With their stronghold exposed, I doubt the balladeer is stubborn enough to try and retaliate now on his colleagues' behalf. It would be more trouble than it's worth. I must say, I would relish the opportunity to watch the Fatui getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, anyway, that Sungonomiya Kokomi, she really outdid herself this time. I'd love to have another chat with her again in person. But alas, belief systems can be such a hindrance sometimes.
A hindrance? Should you really be saying that as the Gucci of the Grand Shrine?
Anyway, I'm only telling you this to stop you worrying so that you can focus on something I need you to do for me.
И что же это?
You've met her, right?
Да, во время церемонии.
I'm not talking about the puppet. I mean her. You've met her, yes?
В том измерении?
Yes, the true Raiden Shogun, who meditates endlessly in the plane of Euthymia to preserve her being. Her name is A.
Are you saying that the one we met at the ceremony was just a puppet? And the real Raiden Shogun is the one that the traveler met later? And does that mean that when the battlefield changed, so did the opponent?
Я уловил незначительное отличие.
Because this is the Raiden Shogun's eternity. Before pursuing the eternity of her nation, she had to reach eternity for herself. Since the physical body will eventually turn to dust, she replaced hers with that of a puppet. And since the spirit is susceptible to erosion, she placed her consciousness inside her sword, where she remains in a meditative state, free from all disturbances.
Легендарная эрозия.
Oh, that place that she carved open with her sword.
The plane of Euthymia. Essentially, the world inside her mind. A place that typically only allows her existence. She shuts herself off in her inner world, leaving all the affairs of the outside world to be dealt with by a puppet, who has a singular focus on the pursuit of eternity. This is the approach A has come up with for realizing eternity.
Жун Ли тоже говорил про Уберузи.
You mean Morax? It's been a while since I last saw him. A surprising decision by Liyue's Archon. What a fascinating god he is.
It seems like the Raiden Shogun's approach solves the problem Zhang Li was facing, though.
Pardon.
Or you could take the view that she's acting like a little child, throwing a temper tantrum and locking herself in her room. Don't you think? The grand notion of eternity she once held has long since given way to the eternity of her own definition. And ultimately, her eternity is defined by fear. The fear of loss.
Страх потери. Ну да.
The truth is, we are on the same side. You want to save the people of Inazuma from the Vision Hunt decree. So do I. The only difference is that I'd rather like to save this nation and save A while we're at it. The
Понятно.
key is that the plane of Euthymia represents A's inner world. Defeat her there, and you may well have the chance to shake the Raiden Shogun's will.
So this is your plan? To abolish the Vision Hunt decree? Not by talking her out of it, or through an armed resistance, but by,
Короче говоря, надавать тумаков Райден. Да, да.
You're a fast learner. In short, this is the last chance to get Inazuma back on track. Otherwise, an eternity of darkness awaits.
Короче говоря, план такой. Врываемся, опять она переносит нашего путника в мир своего подпространства, и там ей уже мозг вправляем. Ну, все равно, у меня остался вопрос.
Don't you realize how special you are? Remember, the plane of Euthymia is a space where only she is allowed to exist. The fact that you could appear there tells us one crucial thing. That you have piqued her interest. Perhaps it's because she has never seen an individual who is so unpredictable in the face of eternity.
Понятно.
Has no one else ever been in there?
None. No one has seen the devotee of eternity since she shut herself away. In fact, no one even knows what it looks like in there. Your existence is more than just an opportunity. It's the very key to all of this. To that I say, well done, child. You did not disappoint me after all.
Wait, you're leaving? Where are you going?
Anti-Raiden Shogun training. I've prepared a special program just for you. Come along.
Понятно. Ой, ладненько. Так, здесь тренировка будет.
We're gonna do it here? And what's this mechanism for?
Think of it as a catalyst that can reproduce the Raiden Shogun's combat moves. I made it from my own memory, which means it should be perfectly accurate. Unless, of course, her skills have declined. It'll give you a chance to figure out her moves in advance and come up with a counter strategy. That should be a big help, don't you think? The aim is to try to not get hit by the attacks. Since you've escaped certain death at her hand once already, I presume this shouldn't be more than you can handle.
Проще говоря...
Go easy on me.
Так. Блин. Финальный удар нужен.
Not bad.
Так. Да, это сложнее, чем я... Мне нельзя еще ее ломать. Так, от этих...
Oh.
Да. То есть у меня есть несколько попыток. Так. Будет сложно. А, у меня счетчик над головой. Я, блин, его не заметил. Боишь? Четыре. Ой. А как из... А как от последней? Да твою ж. От последней не уклониться. Да твою ж. Да как? Все заново. Это надолго. Фух, наконец-таки. Короче говоря, последнее это задание, их невозможно просто выполнить. Единственный способ это разбить как-нибудь это одну из трех, получается, что-то наподобие знаков Райден и тупо стоять в углу. Еле как выполнил. Вроде бы то же самое делал, но только сейчас смог. Видать, в прошлый раз не смог это нормально сделать. Фух.
What a workout!
Было сложно.
So how come you know so much about the Raiden Shogun?
You mean me? Perhaps it's because I'm the Electro Archon's familiar.
Опа-на.
What? Like Dvalin is to Barbados? Huh. Never would have guessed by looking at you.
It's Sounds like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form.
В форме. Я бы взглянул.
In your dreams.
Ну, как обычно.
Aw.
More curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you say? A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. But I don't think that's the same thing as complete stasis. At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult for me to join her on. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of euthymia. Perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. In her mind, at least.
Если кто и заблуждается, то тут и правда только чего.
Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever it takes to bring her back on track, regardless of the cost. I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of euthymia is her idea of eternity, then my duty as her eternal familiar is to drag her back out of her own head and into the real world.
Aw, Miko, you sound like a really great friend.
Да.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Could you possibly spare the sentimentality for the time being? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for anti-Raiden Shogun training phase 2.
There's a part 2?
Серьезно. А вот это вот будет жестко. А, серьезно? А, победить их надо. То
Time
есть
to act.
мало того, что... Так, еще под ударами надо... Ах ты ж...
Let's begin.
Ну, хоть под ударами я... Блин, босс-файтинг, блин, вместе с этим.
No, my sword.
A moment, please.
Ну, это хоть более-менее полегче. Ломаем щиты. Так, подрываем. Фу. Под ударами, серьезно.
We're finally done. How did we do?
You did quite admirably. I could see your determination and your hard work.
So, do you think we're ready to beat the Raiden Shogun now?
How do I put this? You're no match for her at all.
Wait, what? So all of this was a complete waste of time?
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't think I'd leave you with no chance to win at all, do you? Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances?
Ты оцениваешь шансы сопротивления.
You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle, but when they face the Raiden Shogun herself... considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue. They're ultimately quite helpless.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Swordfish too, you know.
I don't mean to belittle them. On the contrary. It is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short,
Да уж.
if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful.
В чем состоит твой план?
Oh, goodness, is that the time? I have another guest to receive today. We can talk more back at the Grand Narukami Shrine.
All of a sudden, you're entertaining guests? Hyman's really struggling to understand how you work.
Ой. Ну что ж, господа. Ну что ж, на такой вот ноте будем заканчивать. Так что всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки и подписывайтесь на канал, тут первый раз. Также делитесь этим видео с друзьями. Ну, с вами был Гильмасинон. Всем хорошего настроения и покедова.